This is the Facial Recognition Comedy Podcast, niggas. And this your boy David Lucas. What's happening?
What's up, David? I'm Fizza.
I'm Pallavi.
I'm Zara.
We got David Lucas, really funny comic.
Welcome.
You've never seen me, so how you know I'm really funny?
I've seen you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, you did.
You're
yeah,
a monster on stage. Even if someone hasn't seen you in comedy, your reputation precedes you.
Thank you.
But you
man.
think I would just say that?
I don't know, man, because I be telling a whole bunch of girls that they funny in hopes that, you know.
Oh.
Wait, hold on.
You put yourself on blast right now.
That was funny.
He told me too. Do you know what he said? Do you know what he said? Do you know
No,
what he said?
y'all-
told me.
Look,
No,
do you know
y'all
what
are
David-
about-
Do you know what David said? We were at the haha, and you were like, he did the exact thing that we hate. He was like, now I know you won't like this, but I don't find women that funny except for you and Zara.
He said that to me. He said, I know you won't like this, but there's only a couple of women I think are funny in comedy, and that's you and Jessica Michelle Singleton. And I'm like,
you also
shit.
mentioned Jessica
Yeah.
Michelle. Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
oh shit, thank you. I'm
No,
in good
I haven't
company.
seen you yet. But
Yeah, I
might
mean, I
add
think
to
also-
that. No, for real. I laugh at her. I laugh at you, and I laugh at JMS.
Yeah.
I do not find a lot of. I mean,
Why is that, though? Do you think you just can't relate to it?
No, it's just like when I see a woman comic, I want to hear something outside of guys ain't shit. They dicks is little.
Then make guys not say shit and their
let-
dicks not be little.
Let
That's our experience.
let me
You know
tell
what?
you how my ex cheated on me. Like I want to hear like
So I can give you a list of comics who do have material outside of those things who I think are really funny.
and I probably haven't seen them.
yeah.
because,
you
like-
haven't seen me.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
So once I see you,
And I
I'll
talk
probably.
about orgies in Saudi Arabia, so
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not worried
Orgies
about
in Saudi
you.
Arabia. That's
But like a lot of guys have the same material too.
yes.
But he doesn't think a lot of guys
I
are
don't
funny,
think.
too.
I
Do you tell guys that you're like, I don't usually find guys funny?
Nah.
But then why would you tell women that?
because like even though I'm extroverted sometimes, I'm a real introvert. I don't like to talk. I really don't. And a lot of people take it as me being an asshole. And it's like, I'm not an asshole, bro. I'm really shy. I have social anxiety. I don't even know how I do comedy. So it's like, it's easier for me to approach women than it is for me to approach a man. I grew up in a house full of women. So like, I can relate more to women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even not on the sexual level, just like straight kicking it. Like, I relate more to a female than I do a man.
Yeah, well, you were just saying this before we turned the mics on. Do you think that women are, what's the word you use, better than men?
Yes, women are way better than men.
In
I
what
can
way?
100 every way. Stability, financially, common sense wise. Like
So, like, do you think just in general or in like a specific community?
no, all over.
Yeah.
If you probably could do
I mean-
studies, there's probably a very small percentage of women that would risk their whole family for some penis. I'm probably right
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
true.
But like
What you're
men
saying.
would do it
Yes.
differently.
men,
So-
Yes.
men have done it for,
But
but
that pull isn't like that isn't an intellectual pull. That's like an animalistic.
Yeah, because
it-
they try to break it down scientifically and be like, well, men like to hunt. Well, if
So
you
that
talking,
makes it inferior.
if
It makes-
you're talking about like trying to make a man, seem like an animal in the animal kingdom, most females do the hunting. The female lion does the hunting in the pride or whatever they call
That's
it.
true.
So
true.
it's like
And what do the guys
Female
do?
hyenas.
the
Fuck
guys
around?
the guys chill. They roar every morning and they have sex
Yeah.
for like what? Lions have sex for like what? 45 seconds,
I don't know.
something like that. Yeah. They
Well,
don't-
you watch a lot of the animal documentaries and stuff,
Yes,
right?
and
So
I
you-
also was an environmental science major, so I'm a little bit of a geek when it
Oh,
comes to
okay.
Which animal penises are barbed?
I thought ducks were like.
Oh,
what?
the
I'm
ones
sorry.
that attach on. Yes, it is.
Wait, hold on. What are, I'm sorry.
Barbed, like
For-
it attaches.
It grabs.
Like it
Yeah, I
grabs.
cannot
Oh.
remember.
It's like-
There's prehensile and then there's
You know,
barbed.
vaginal dentata. It's like the male version of that. So
It's
like,
like-
Wait, what? I'm
It's like
sorry.
if-
I'm
if
learning
you were,
something
If you were like a
completely
robber
new.
and you were to throw up a rope attached
it's
to
a dick
like
with
thing,
teeth on it.
It's
like,
a dick
it
that like
grabs in.
latches onto.
It has like barbs.
Yes, can
so
we
it, like,
Google that
goes
right
in and
fast?
latches out.
My daughter has my phone. Can we-
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Barb,
They're good.
barb
They're quick-
penis. I'm
quicker
gonna
than
see
me.
like
They're
weird
good.
ass
Googling.
things if I Google this
There's
right
also
now.
like the duck penis, which is like
The duck
corkscrew
penis.
type, right? Or
Okay,
whatever,
I'm
like,
sorry.
I
I'm
believe-
just asking because you said like the lion sex lasts 45 seconds, and I was just like, well, is it because it's painful?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't know. Lion, they might just come.
because like
fast.
monkeys will keep doing it,
Monkeys are primates
Yeah.
like us. So,
but they don't have like the nails on their dick. like the screws and
Don't
shit.
women
A
want
male
men to
cat's penis is barbed. So does
Yeah,
that mean lions'
lion-
penises are
Maybe.
barbed? Yeah, it could be.
That's why cats, like when they're doing it in the alleyway, screech.
Oh,
There's
because it
also like,
hurts?
but there's
Yeah,
also like,
think so.
like raccoons or like rapists and stuff, and people hear them in like
Yeah.
alleys.
And some
Yeah.
sharks are whores.
Dolphins are rapists.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was it? I was watching
All of them,
the
though?
Wait,
Like,
I
we want to generalize all
Alright,
the
hold
dolphins
on.
based on the...
Aren't all
And then one named
animals
Cody
rapists?
that was really nice. No.
Aren't
No.
all animals
No,
rapists?
Did you see the video
Like-
of the 2 white ducks raping the black duck? No, for real, it's a new video. I am not lying.
I also want to take
There's
this
a
opportunity to say that
Do, like,
David's
duck
daughter is sitting in the
But she has
background, but she has
Yeah.
earpods on.
His
Yeah.
4-year-old daughter
Rely
is
on
here.
that? But how much do you rely on that? And one day it's going to come back to bite you. That her earpods are working, or that a song
mean,
hasn't stopped.
The reason my daughter talks so well for 4-year-old to be 4-year-old is because like I talk to her like a real person. So I give her the real, even though she might not comprehend it now. I talk to her like I talk to y'all. I might not use as much curse words with her, but I feel like it'll make her prepare for the world because I believe we live in a society that needs bullies.
That needs bullied.
Yes.
Do you view yourself as a bully?
No. Not at all.
Were you
I
bullied
mean-
when you were younger?
No.
Wait, so what do you mean needs bullies?
I just feel like we live in a very like soft culture. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was growing up, I couldn't go cry to my mom that I got my ass whooped. But I was watching a video yesterday with Marshawn Lynch. I don't know if y'all know Beast
Yeah.
Mode. He was
Yeah.
running a football camp in Oakland. And like football is a gladiator sport. And there were some moms complaining that he was cursing their kids out and like yanking them out of drills. And I'm like, that's normal in football. That's how you make a gladiator. Like I was cursed out when I played football and it made me want to be tougher. I didn't have my mom. My mom wasn't going to be there to rescue me. You know what I'm saying? And like somebody even broke down, I know this might be a little off topic, but somebody even broke down like the difference in Michael Jordan and LeBron James to me. They were like psychologically LeBron James is always going to be weaker than Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan was raised with a dad. And dads are the ones that'll push you to say, keep going, keep going, keep going. But because LeBron James was, raised with a mom, she'd be like, all right, baby, that's enough. You don't have to practice anymore.
Well, and
know
it's
if that's
confusing
true.
because, like, the women, we've talked about sort of women being superior inherently. So, and
Until it comes to their babies. Like,
so there's like a the kids do
Absolutely.
you feel like you're softer because you were raised around a lot of women?
I would have been softer had I only had my mom and my aunt.
Do you see vulnerability as a weakness?
It can be.
It can be.
Yeah.
But also,
So-
like, the ability to be vulnerable and the experience of vulnerability, doesn't it also make you emotionally stronger for the next time and make you a more wholesome experience person?
Absolutely.
It's why women can take rejection and
Yeah.
men can't.
This is why
I
women
can.
have better coping.
No,
Women tend
but
to
I'm
have
saying
better coping.
women have better coping even after
Yeah.
like relationships end and stuff. Men tend to do like way worse.
They do.
And
They
it's
go-
partially because of like how they cope emotionally and with their community.
Well,
and
isn't
that has
that
to do with vulnerability.
so? I think we've discussed this. It's like the cycle of fuckboys. Fuckboys exist because something bad happened to them,
Absolutely.
and they're basically taking it out on every relationship after that.
Absolutely.
They were never able to cope or recover.
Yeah.
Whereas women are like constantly dealing with this bad behavior.
I got my heart broke at like 17, and it took me like 6 years to recover from that.
Wow.
How'd you know you were recovered? Like what?
When I didn't view women the way that I view them anymore. Because
Okay.
I was like, all right, I'm going to get you before you get me. It won't ever happen again.
that.
You know
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm saying?
that
Yeah.
fuckboy.
Yeah.
mentality.
Do you
Well,
know
no,
it took
do
you
you-
6 years to recover from being a fuckboy?
Do you
Yeah.
remember
Wow.
like what changed your mind? Or oh
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Her-
Baby
was her-
girl.
So,
So
you
he
had
pointed
your
his-
daughter
his
4 years
daughter.
ago.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this journey?
Wait,
like,
how old are you?
28.
Oh.
I want to talk about this journey because
Mm-hmm.
I think I met you right after you had your daughter. You took a little break from comedy
Yeah.
for like a
2
few
years.
months, for 2 years,
Yeah.
and you came back, and I'm like, who is this monster on the scene? Because I think I came to LA right when you left or whatever, so
Okay.
I didn't meet you, and then I meet you, and I'm like, I've never met this human before, and then
Right.
you're like, I have a daughter. I'm like, okay, so this is going to be an interesting comic.
Right.
But like when you're on stage, it's like you don't really talk about your daughter or that experience. So I'm like very interested to know like what that journey's been like.
I just
for you.
And also, why don't you talk about
I
it?
like
Yeah.
to separate me from like personal. Like even on my Instagram, I really stopped like posting her on my Instagram because it's like I'm on a lot of popular shows, like YouTube shows.
Is it
and-
like respecting her privacy?
Yeah, and also like like I have this thing where I'm like I'm the sexiest fat guy in the world, so a lot of girls are into big guys, handsome big guys. So it's like a lot of girls.
You guys, do you watch his stories? They're pretty fun.
Like
he's like
we
working.
just started following each other yesterday.
I don't
Thursday.
think we follow
Working
each
out.
other.
Thursday.
On Instagram?
I don't
Okay,
think
I'll
so.
get you.
He's working out at the gym. He's
Yeah.
lifting.
Make sure I'm a sexy fat guy.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
But you guys have known each other for a few years then.
About 2-3 years.
Yeah, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait, when did you move to LA?
It'll be 5 years in
Where
November.
did we meet at? Was it Ice House?
It might have been Ice House or
Yeah.
something like
That
that.
was like one of my first shows back.
Yeah, I remember. I'm like, wait, he's new? He's like, no, he left and came back. I'm like, all right.
Did you go to Miami
When
you left?
No, I was here, just
Because
here.
what we were talking about.
But
at
yeah, I did.
Crackamo,
I was there for like a few months.
You grew up in Miami.
Yeah.
And then I lived in Miami for a little bit. I'm from South Florida.
Mhm.
So, like, Miami's dope.
It's cool.
You don't love it?
I mean, you visited. I'm from there.
Yeah.
You know how it is. It's like L.A. when people come now. I've been here 10 years, 9 years. So it's like, man, people, you live in
I
this
lived there for
dope-ass
4
city.
years.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, it is what it is now. It's lost its luster.
Yeah.
I know the real Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Across the bridge, north.
You said Carroll City.
Yeah.
Wait, can I ask you? This is also a personal question, so
Yeah,
I don't
go
know if
ahead.
you. But can you talk a little bit about your daughter's mom and like how she is involved in your daughter's life and your life?
I mean, my daughter, she stays with her mom. I pay child support. And we get.
But I think since you've come back, I don't think you've taken time off because I see you everywhere on everything. Yeah, it's great. It's great. So I feel like your daughter, even taking that time away, has only made you a better human, but also a better mom.
Yeah, my comedy also changed a lot when I came back. I had a totally different view, and it took me 6 months to get acclimated to my new style of comedy. I think it's always good to take a break from what you're doing, even if it's for a week. Let me step back and assess what I'm doing. I've been doing this for I take a break every year, so I'll step back, try to every year for a week and a half.
You take vacation. It's good.
Yeah, might go out of town or something. So it's like, let me step back and see what I did this year. I got this. All right, so how do I get to this, that, and that? And I was like, we need to do this, and this. And it's just like a.
What are some of your thises now?
What are some goals you're working towards?
So starting my podcast, starting the tour, the 3XL tour, me and a couple other fat guys. Going around the country telling jokes.
I told them we should probably think about doing a crossover.
Yeah.
For facial recognition comedy.
Facial 3XL facial recognition.
Yeah, we do
You
crossover.
know, because y'all are not the same person. We were talking about this.
Unless you have real big foreheads, we'll need to make a 6XL.
I don't got foreheads.
No, the thing is, like, our
I'm talking about for the flyer, the promotion.
flyers have become really hard. So for those of you listening that want to do the
Even if they have
show,
bangs, I'm going to figure it out.
yeah.
I'll have bangs soon.
You growing it out?
Yeah. Why not?
So you have you really care about your style and how you carry yourself.
Absolutely.
You're one of the few comics I know out here who's you're always put together. You don't look like you were homeless at one point, you know, which is a lot of comics
These
out
comics
here.
smell bad,
Yo,
look bad, they're bad
yes.
on stage, they're just bad all around.
Yeah, but it's But explain this to me. Is this something that you always grew up with to like present yourself well, or is this like you, like David Lucas, like I'm like the sexiest fat guy and I have to carry myself?
I've been clean since I was a kid, man. Cause my mom doesn't have a sense of style. My dad does. My aunt. I grew up with my mom, my aunt, and my grandma in the same house. So my aunt is like very big into fashion, and she used to work at Belts, which is a clothing store down south.
It's a department store. It's a department,
Yeah. So I always had clothes, and it just carried over to adulthood. Like she always be like, "Oh, you ain't got no belt." I don't really like tuck my shirt in now. But she was like, "You need to tuck that in. That ain't no shirt that's meant to be out. That need to be tucked in. You need a black belt with those jeans. Why you wearing a brown belt?"
Yeah.
Right. So she taught me how to dress, and then I eventually got into my own style and my own swag. And I feel like you may not be the funniest guy in the room, but if you're dressed well, I'm gonna probably pay attention to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, who's gonna pay attention to you if you look like that? You look dirty. I don't listen to shit you gotta say.
Yeah.
So
That's
hygiene and style is very
Right.
important to you.
Yes.
yeah. I think that's why Dave and I kind of gravitate towards each other because we're like, why are we the only humans in this room right now?
They look
Like
dirty.
we're entertainers, and if you look around, it's like I'm scared to talk to people because I don't know if they showered today. Like this is very,
They don't brush their teeth. This is.
you know.
Who are the people that don't brush their teeth?
I
You
would
would
be
be
bad
surprised.
Are they making it?
I went to a comic's house one day
With that
because I was picking him up so we could shoot something. And when I went, he was like, "Yeah, I got straight out of bed." He ain't wash his face. He ain't wash his hands. He ain't brush his teeth. He ain't even gargle. I'm like, shit, this is
I'm
nasty.
stuck on that teeth
In
stuff.
college, we
That's
used to
crazy.
do a thing where we would take a marker and like mark it on somebody's body, and then
See,
the next day
yeah.
we're like, "Did you shower?" And the mark is still there. You didn't shower. And then like 3 weeks later, we're like, "Shower."
What college did you go to?
I went to Caltech. It was like a bunch of nerds, so it was just like, and people got made fun of if they looked nice because it's like, oh, you had time to do your makeup, you weren't studying.
Different culture.
Like,
I went
it's
to
opposite.
UCLA.
Yo, my friends used to pretend like they were from UCLA at other schools' parties so that they wouldn't get made fun of. They were like dirtying up your reputation.
I mean, I ain't very. I mean, I wish I'd have went to a different school, man. That school
I feel
has
like
no
people in
culture.
UCLA, especially in LA, I feel like y'all have so much pride. Like you're not a Bruins fan. You don't get into the UCLA culture.
Do you
It's
care
like
about
pretty
sports?
widespread, right?
Yeah.
I care about the parties.
But you don't care about like actual sports, no loyalty to teams. So then
That's
it's
why
like
girls
hard
be
to.
messing with me heavy because they're like, "You don't gotta watch sports every day." I'm like, "No."
Yeah, that makes
Were you-
your stock just went up.
Were you doing comedy at UCLA when you were on?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you've been doing comedy for a while.
Yeah, I started when I was 16.
Wow. So
I was
you
on-
start out in
You were
Atlanta?
comedy for 12 years.
Yeah, I was on TV at 17. On MTV Atlanta.
You were on Yo Mama?
Yeah, in high school, I was the man.
Hold on, I'm gonna look this up.
Okay.
Southside, what is it? Atlanta, MTV Your Mama. I think I was on the south side of Atlanta.
Okay, so you started comedy in Atlanta in high school, and then you got into UCLA, so you moved out here to LA, and so you've just been doing comedy out here in LA ever since. You took some time off when your daughter was born.
I did comedy. I was too.
Okay.
I did a lot of church shows going on. It's on my Instagram. They just put it on my IG.
Yeah, I saw something on there.
You do clean comedy. At the
Yeah,
church
yeah,
shows,
yeah. My mom was my manager.
Really?
So does your mom still manage your church gigs?
I don't.
You don't do the church anymore. What was
But she did she looked at your contract for MTV and everything.
Yeah, make sure I wasn't getting fucked,
Yeah.
but I still did.
So what was the transition like? I guess like your mom being your manager and then like
Getting a real manager.
Getting a real manager, and then also you telling your mom that you're not doing church gigs anymore, right? And
I want to know about your like the religion change.
Yeah.
That seems like a big one.
Yeah, I'll tell you later. But I mean, when I got my first real manager, I was like, Mom was on some bullshit.
She was pocketing like 50%.
Right. Yeah. Managers only get 12%, Felicia. What are you doing? I get paid 200 and you get 180. There's a
It was like 50%.
right. It's like 85.
you took that mom commission.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I made you. I get.
So, yeah.
Took it as child support.
But I mean, she was doing the best she could. She was just pretty much making sure don't nobody do it. That's
Right.
So it was mama drink,
How's your mom doing now?
She's doing good.
Yeah.
Living her life. She got a big ass house.
Is she in entertainment anymore at all?
Nah, she was just doing that for me.
Okay.
My mama could care less about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She just mad that I didn't finish engineering school.
How
So
far
you were, I thought you were environmental science.
Right, I was going to school to be an environmental engineer. So after I graduated, I was going to go to Fresno to do the engineering program up there and do an internship from USDA.
Like a master's or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's mad that you never went to grad school and pursued engineering.
Wow. So in some ways, your mom is also Salvation. Wow. Wait, can we talk about the religion thing?
Yeah, let's
so you
talk.
grew up like Christian?
I grew up Catholic.
Catholic. Okay, and
My
then.
dad's Hispanic.
Oh, okay. And then, like.
Well, I grew up in a Catholic school and I went to a Baptist church in my family.
Oh, okay.
So was it confusing for you?
Yeah, from the beginning I knew that it was not meant for me. At that age, you don't have too much of a say.
Yeah, because your dad's paying for you to go to Catholic
Right.
school, private school,
Right.
and then you're living with your grandma
Right.
who's taking you Southern Baptist Church. So at what point were you like, this is screwed up, I'm not doing
Well,
this
at
anymore?
the age you begin to realize that both of these people think they're right, but they have two different doctrines.
And they're each saying she's gonna go to hell, and it's like, well, who's going to hell?
I mean, it wasn't necessarily like pointing fingers, but it's
Yeah.
just like, you know, like Catholic school is this. This is how you get to heaven. When you go to a Baptist church, it's like through Jesus you get to heaven.
And they're both being like promoted as the only way.
Right. And then, you know, I studied with Jehovah's Witnesses in high school, and they're like, oh, you know, only like 100,000 people are gonna get into heaven.
Is
You gotta-
Coachella? What
That's
is
a big
that?
number.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
like,
it's-
that's the number of wristbands available.
Yeah, like Jehovah's Witnesses believe that only a certain amount of people are gonna get to heaven. Like, I mean,
So
a
why are
wait
they
list.
trying to convert so many?
Why do they
Like,
keep
it
having
makes
kids?
sense.
They just want it to be popping. They want like the wait list, and
Right.
they want the line
They want a
outside.
line.
y'all see the clubs with
It's a
Jehovah's
pyra-
Witnesses?
It's a pyramid scheme.
Right.
Only the ones at the top get it. It's a Mary Kay of religions.
Did they already pick the 100,000 that are already going in? Like, why do they keep
Over the
100,000
entirety of time?
Yeah.
The 100,000 that they think are going in have died. They've had
Yeah.
100,000 people die.
They
Yeah.
already took their spots.
Right.
And
But the last religion that I dabbled in was Islam. And if I had to choose a religion, it'd be Islam.
So what made
How
you
long-
dabble?
How long ago was that?
That's probably like 21. It was just like.
So you were in college, hanging out with the Muslim Student Association kids.
Well, more so with black Muslims.
Oh, okay, got it.
That
makes more sense.
But it was just more so like, hey, this is, you know, let me see what they're talking about.
It's like at
Like, you know, it's like Christianity that resonate with me. Jehovah's Witnesses that resonate with me. Let me see these Islam people. So I mean, a lot of stuff, you know, like the multiple wives. You know,
I feel with that.
they
We've been
can
talking
help.
about
you,
this
the
multiple
polyamory is a selling point for Islam in 2019. I'm telling you, because everyone's doing the polyamory.
But what
thing
about
now.
our polyamory?
We
What
were
about
talking
my
about that,
husband?
and he was like, Lucas was like, no. Like, I don't
Okay.
want my wife to have multiple partners. I want to have multiple wives. That's what he was saying.
Well, then
Or girlfriends or whatever.
And we're not compatible.
Damn.
Let's-
Move on,
I love that men are pushing for this polyamory thing, but the second that one of their girlfriends is like, all right, well, I'm gonna go
Get
get
some
another
dick.
one too.
I don't really think I
It's a
can handle
problem.
it.
See,
Yeah,
if I was with a
you're-
dude who I knew was messing with other people, I would definitely be messing with other people myself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Um,
Well, I don't know.
Why do you feel?
Who has time?
Like
Who
you're
has time to
jealous
do it?
or
Anyway.
or is it just that
I
you
know
don't-
for a fact I couldn't knowingly handle my girl going to get outside penis. Like I always tell girls I talk to them, you don't just be clean about it. I don't want to know about it. Cause it's like it's like I'm open minded, but it's like I don't want to know about it.
You feel like it would hurt you?
Yeah.
So it's a don't ask, don't tell type
But
thing.
do you prefer to tell? Is it the same way for like you and with the information you give your person?
Well, I mean, I try to be faithful. It's just like, like if you're gonna do something, just please do it clean. Like I ask you, don't bring no outside babies, don't bring no diseases.
So clean and discreet.
Yeah.
But do you think that's unfair that like if you want to have multiple women, you want to be open and honest with all of them, right? So it's like you don't have any guilt. But if they want to go and step out or have another relationship with someone else, they have to keep that a secret.
You're breaking the family.
But like, what if you're the second boy?
What if you're the second or
man?
third and her,
her
family?
rotation.
Yeah.
What if you're the weekend?
I've been a side dude before. Like I don't mind being a side dude.
What
Were you
side
a-
dude
Were you a
like?
secret?
Huh?
Were you a secret?
I mean, her dude eventually found out, but she kept on doing it, and I'm like, look, this is getting dangerous because this dude taking off from work and try to pop up on me, and see, I made a fake account
Yeah.
and hit me up on IG.
He hit you up on IG? What happened? Was there like ever any confrontation?
He was, I mean, I ain't scary, but it's just like, dude, like, talk to your girl, bro. I know about you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying,
Do
bro?
you not feel like guilty about that, or like
No, because it's not real to you, man.
until you're married?
Oh, okay.
But I thought you said you don't believe in the institution of marriage, so
I don't.
any relationship.
But I'm saying I won't feel guilty unless like
But
boyfriend.
it's still emotions in a relationship, right? If the marriage is just the paper, then the validity of the relationship.
And it's like commitment in front of God. Like you wouldn't before God and you like without it.
So you-
So
okay.
you believe in God, but not religion.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Okay, got that. So you're just not, you haven't subscribed to like a specific organized religion.
I mean, people would probably call me a Buddhist, but
Okay.
like Buddhism
It's
teaches
probably
you.
gonna sound like a subscription.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like Buddhism teaches you that Buddhism is not a religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a consciousness. So
Right.
it's like I don't deserve to call myself a Buddhist. That's what Buddhism teaches me. I don't
Yeah.
deserve to call myself a Buddhist. It's just a train of thought that I have. And I just let stuff, slide off my back.
That's beautiful.
Change person.
Beautiful. So polyamory is all
My
about
daughter,
it.
Yeah.
my
Everyone's
daughter,
on the same page. Everyone's on the same page.
my daughter meditates.
But he's not saying that. He's saying like honesty sometimes.
Well, are you open to that? That's the thing. Is it if it's like, is it a don't ask, don't tell on both ends? Like you would have,
Honestly, 2 girls sound good in theory.
yeah.
Only. I've never had that.
In practice, it might be a little more complicated.
Right, because it's like, all right, now you have to sexually please 2 women. But it
And
isn't.
emotionally.
Emotionally, and it's like.
And
there's
maybe
a
even
schedule.
financially,
But like it's like, all right, if I got 2 women, then I would not approach 2 women about a relationship unless I'm financially able to make sure both of their needs are met.
Yeah.
Just point blank, period.
I mean, that's essentially
I
having
think-
multiple wives in Islam.
I think that's disrespectful, but a lot of these guys out here trying to have 2 women with no money.
Yeah, you know what? If you can provide for them and everyone's on the same page, that's cool.
Y'all both
If
driving,
everyone's
y'all
on the
both
same
driving
page.
Benzes. What you complaining about? We live in a nice house. You both got credit cards.
Well, I mean,
And some
when
women-
it's not like what you're complaining about because like some women want just one man, right?
Well, yeah,
Like,
that's
for themselves.
then that's not a
Then that's
situation
not them
for
being
them.
happy.
But you
That's-
also
that's
have to,
why-
I mean, come on, we've seen this in LA where a lot of women are essentially, they're married by contract, but they're like, their husbands are constantly, I mean, they might be in open relationships and all of that, their
I mean,
husbands are constantly, I don't even think the word is cheating on them because they're aware of who they're with, they're aware of the mistresses and the side chicks and all of that, and it's like, they like living comfortably, they like
The first
getting
lady
their
that
Botox paid for, they like their
Yeah.
their Benz, they like all of that, so why?
the first lady that broke my heart when I was 17 was married.
Oh shit.
She was married. I didn't even know she was married because she was dating a cardiologist. I was in high school.
How old is she?
She was like 25.
And you were.
Wait, so
you
she
were
was
17?
married? She was married to the cardiologist? Okay.
But in the state of Georgia,
That's
I was living in Georgia.
it's legal.
Yes,
Okay.
Still a little suspect though.
mean,
it's like
What
25.
guys complaining? What guys complaining?
Well, it told you were younger, so you fell in love with her, and then what happened?
Found out she had a whole husband. I was like, what the f-?
Whole husband, a cardiologist husband. That's like a serious.
He probably had a chick though. He had to because he was never home. I'm talking about spending the night at her house. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, cardiologists usually spend time in the hospital
But he could have also
with their
been having a whole
with their whole affairs. Yeah.
So
It's not
I-
complicated.
General
It's
hospital.
tiring me out.
I know hella
Like,
celebrities.
I don't trust one person.
I know hella celebrities in apartments just for girls.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Like 6 or 7.
I'm friends with these girls. We like hang out at the apartment that their dude paid for.
Well, how do we sign up for these apartments and shit?
You don't want what
I've
comes
been
with it.
Yeah, you're probably
It's
right.
hard.
Yeah.
Like I know there's a woman that we all probably know in the comedy scene. She's been with this guy for 7 years. He's never gonna leave his wife. So I mean, she's just like, it's been 7 years. Maybe someday he'll leave his wife. I'm like, he's not leaving his wife.
But as a business arrangement, like what, how is she limited? Does she have to just be available?
That's his property.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah.
lying.
That's his property. I pay for your apartment. What
That's
you
like
mean?
that's like this time. Like
Yeah,
I went
that's
to
a lot
I
of
went to a
control.
club one time, which like I rarely do like these types of clubs. And like there was my friends wanted to talk to these guys who had like a table and bottle service, and like my male friend walked in, and I went to talk to him, and someone just grabbed me and was like, no, because I was like in that guy's area. They control you. And I'm like,
And
fuck
that's light.
this.
That's light.
I was like, fuck
Yeah.
this, and I was like, I'm leaving. And I
Like
was
if
like,
I'm paying for your drinks, you're gonna be entertaining me.
What
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
on comedy, he'd be like, "What you mean you going to New York for a show?" No,
Yeah,
you're not.
it's sort of being on call.
You
and
come,
available.
Yeah.
you come back, you won't have an apartment. You go do that show, you won't have an apartment.
Yeah.
They can all see. We're the nice guys who just want to help people. We're those guys.
But I also meet a lot of
I
women
can make
that
you
love.
laugh. I can.
You're like legit
I can do
laughing
my
at this
eyebrows.
concept. Zara's like losing her shit, like nice guys.
Don't you just want to give me shit? What the fuck?
If only it was that easy.
Bitch shit.
Yeah, I call it bitch shit. I
There's-
call it bitch shit. Like we went and there was a substance available, and we went and we took it and we left, and I was like, man, we just did that bitch shit. And then like somebody else gave us drinks, and we like took it and we left, and then I was like, we got that bitch shit again.
I grew up on Trina and listening to all that, so it's like I have no. Huh?
The original City Girl.
Yeah, the original.
What you feel about the city girls being from Miami?
One's locked up and one's pregnant. That lets you know how the City Girls go.
Wait, why is one being pregnant a bad thing?
Because City Girls talk about fuck niggas. But you're pregnant by a whole nigga. So it's like you preaching what you not. How's it go? You preaching but you're not acting.
So are
You
you,
out here living.
Talking the talk, not walking.
Right.
assuming you're an advocate for birth control and Planned Parenthood?
I'm not.
You're not.
Not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Planned Parenthood is not starting anything like that.
It doesn't matter what it was started for if it's now like accomplishing what people think it's accomplishing.
I mean, your free will, but it's like, like I would prefer a girl I date not put your body under stress and no control.
Yeah, I understand that. Every time I've tried birth control, I felt really, really sick. But everyone's body's different. So
Everyone
for-
reacts
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
sure.
helps me.
But
Like,
so like what is
Yeah.
you have I mean you talk about one of the city girls who's pregnant, you talk about it in a way like, oh, she's pregnant and she's talking about being a hoe shit. Like all this hoe shit. So like your problem with her is that she's
No,
not speaking her truth?
I don't have a
or-
problem with her at all.
Okay.
It's just like she got millions of girls across the country talking about fucking nigga, but she's married. She's not married. She's pregnant.
I mean, it is entertaining.
Why
I mean,
you-
also
no,
she's
it's
had a
like-
whole life before that.
Yeah, but what
Like
I'm
it's
saying
like
is,
it's like Jay-Z rapping about like selling, and he
Yeah.
doesn't do that now, but he can still rap about it.
yeah, but it's like I was not feeling the whole Beyonce movement about the single woman shit. You got Jay-Z behind it.
Wait, what?
You didn't feel like it was authentic.
Yeah, like come from a true place.
Yeah, I mean
But-
Single
but-
Ladies
but-
came out when she was with Jay-Z.
But like rappers do this have made money off of the same idea.
Studio gangsters, yes.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily listen to them.
Yeah.
I think
What do you
we-
listen to?
I like Kevin Gates because he speaks truth.
Kevin Gates.
I like Kevin Gates and Kanye. Those are my two favorites.
You're still a fan of Kanye after everything,
I mean,
all the Kanye scandals.
I don't really want to get in. I don't like getting into it, but there's a lot of truth in what he said. I'll say that much.
Did you watch his Letterman interview?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
What did you think of that?
I love it. Kanye. I feel like I'm the Kanye of comedy. Like that's how I'm gonna be. A comedian that has a clothing line. A comedian that's not. What has to happen is you have to wait until you reach a certain platform until you can really speak your mind. You have to reach an undeniable platform. People are gonna fuck with you regardless. Like I can't start saying all that shit right now. I have to wait until the masses fuck with me. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So if I lose 20% of my fan base, they don't fuck with me.
I love what he said about he wants his grandkids to be so unprogrammed that they float. That shit was dope.
I love Kanye, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's just that he talks on a philosophical level, I think. And if it's...
Sometimes I feel it's an act.
You think so?
Absolutely.
What do you mean an act? Like, you don't feel like it's an authentic expression of what he
Like his
feels?
interviews, I've been around Kanye. That's a goofy ass guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye wants to be a comedian subconsciously. He does. He always,
really?
yeah, he's like all that serious shit. I'm like, you know, like it's like when I meet famous people when you're the exact opposite of how you.
I mean, you can tell Kanye's funny just by listening to the lyrics, you know. But
and he does have a chemical imbalance.
yeah, he does. I mean, he talked about that finally. But what I don't like about him as a person is that he's like, he knows he has millions of followers, and he does things that are very irresponsible. Such as, you know, like maybe, I wouldn't say promoting Trump, but being chummy when Trump, like, you know, kind of like.
But do you know what the meeting with Trump was about?
What was it about?
It is what it's about.
Yeah.
It works.
But I mean, I feel like Kim's doing that.
Yeah, but he started. He initiated. I mean, you know, people who say, like, oh, he met, and then afterwards he said he was duped by Trump. Like, that's a man who can admit his mistakes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I remember that, but it's also like.
But he's also, he's also said he's like, he loves Trump, and he's been like very vocal about
Yeah, but it's like
supporting him.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think when you say like irresponsible, I think like what you said about him being a philosophical person is accurate, and that he thinks in philosophies and he like thinks about ideas and like he wants to go beyond what's practical, and he's at a point in his life where he doesn't have to worry about physical suffering.
He's
of the
1,000
people around
years
him.
ahead of himself.
But yeah, right now people are dying because of like, I think it said that more shootings have been attributed to like Trump in the U.S. now than like I don't know how many years before. But it's like people attribute their reason for like hate crimes and stuff to what's happening.
Trump
so
is
there's like practical effects.
I think
to me, Trump is a representation of America. When I say I love Trump, it's not saying like, oh, I'm supporting Trump, because I don't really get into religion. I'm going to believe regardless of who's in office, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like Trump is a representation. I love that he's in office and we're able to see like racism for what. I don't even necessarily say racism, but
I like that race is out in the open. I like to know who they are.
We get to.
But there are more hateful, like there are more that occur because of
I like that. That's why I like the South.
People's physical suffering.
Right, but that's why I like the South. Like in LA, people are way more racist than in Georgia.
Right here,
It's
like you
nasty.
don't see it.
Yeah, but that means that people aren't physically hurt. I'm saying like. Embolden people to like who wouldn't have hurt, which is like you want to know they're racist, but you don't want there to be.
Well, they were in incubation, so who knows who
It
they
was
were.
gonna
You know, they were
happen
going to be
regardless.
activated regardless.
they
if he
were-
was the
that's
one
not
that
necessarily
activated.
the case, is
Everybody,
what I'm saying.
everybody feels like they
I
have
don't
permission
know.
to say whatever the fuck they want.
But
I
it's
think
like
it is
people-
irresponsible.
point.
in
Like,
America, we're raised on violence. Like when I go to other countries, they're like, "Oh, America, you so violent." I'm like,
It's
"I'm not
true.
about to hurt you." They look at me like I'm the Hulk. That's, you know, us. Unless you leave the country, you don't really see that. America is a violent ass country. When you go overseas and you see their television program, it's not.
Not like a 24/7 news cycle, and you also didn't have news 24/7 on your phone, so it's just different. It's just.
But I feel like that was way bigger than anything that happens now.
It was because it was
bigger
one of
than
the
Sandy
first.
Hook.
it was one of the first times I think.
How do we have access to? We were talking about having access to automatic weapons. You can kill how many people in a second?
Or even
Not in California.
Or even this the bump stocks. They like it took. Do they end up banning? Forever to do that, or they haven't done it yet. I can't remember.
I don't think it'll
So
ever
many
pass like
so many
in
things have happened.
Texas and places like that.
So
Well, there's a
okay.
huge difference between like a gun and.
But
an
it's
automatic
already
weapon.
proven.
where everyone's allowed to own a gun and they don't have mass shootings.
If people,
stuff like that.
we do have a lot of crazy people in LA, so that's one reason. I even if guns were legal here, me being a big black guy with tattoos, I wouldn't risk it with these
Yeah.
these fickle LAPD officers.
You
Yeah,
know,
man,
like-
and it's like
But I
ain't
mean,
no
Texas happened today, and that's open carry.
Yeah.
Like I feel
Yeah,
like
but it
I don't know
happened-
how accurate that statement is that you said.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Or I read it. You know.
Why do
I
you
think
have
it's
a
like the
gun?
gun laws.
Increase in violent crime a decade after a typical state adopts them, suggested a statistical analysis of 32 U.S. states.
But that's like U.S. states. I don't know.
We're talking about it in the U.S.
Something definitely does need to change. It's becoming sad because like I think the media helps with the fear mongering, but then also there's no change. So people, I feel like we have no choice but to desensitize ourselves because it's happening all around
I can't
us.
keep watching.
I know it's
Yeah,
hard.
I don't watch
It's
it.
hard.
I do feel like as a whole, LA is a lot safer than the South.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As a whole, why so?
The South is just.
I mean, I grew up in the South, but I'm just wondering what your take is
I
on it.
don't know, man. Boys out there just rowdy. You
Yeah.
have to. I feel like you have to have a gun in the South, or they'll try you. You know. Like,
Well, you grew up in Atlanta, right? did you-
as a teenager? Yeah.
Were there any points as a
Or
teenager?
Macon, Georgia.
Macon, Georgia.
No.
Were there any points as a teenager where you felt unsafe?
I was sheltered.
You were very sheltered,
Mhm.
right?
I grew up.
But you said
where-
you grew up around guns?
Yeah. Like my whole family carried guns.
Okay, so
It's-
there's
it's-
an education to it. Everyone
yeah.
knows how to properly
I knew how to shoot a
load
gun
and
like
shoot,
at
yeah.
6, 7. She'll know how to shoot in a couple of years. So it's like just properly educating your kids about guns. Like I don't carry my gun on me. I'm not pulling my gun out of emotions.
Yeah.
It's for house protection. It's for hunting. You know, stuff like that.
That just like honestly terrifies me. It's like people who have guns in their homes. It scares me because of the statistics of like the likelihood of something happening by accident, whether or not they're educated.
Well, your thing is probably what do you use? Do
I
you
only
lock
have,
it up?
I only have
It's-
one loaded gun, and it has a fingerprint lock. It's just a quick release. So it's like.
There was also like a law recently where people were trying to get it passed so that they were all fingerprint guns, or so that was like standardized.
Yeah,
or something.
my safe that's in my living room is a quick release fingerprint safe. So it's like,
Only
know,
you can shoot it.
Yeah, only I can open it. So it's like if somebody comes to my house, I can grab it in like 30 seconds. Like,
So for you, it's a matter of safety.
yeah, and I'm
It
paranoid.
makes you feel protected.
I'm paranoid.
Yeah.
I live in Studio City, but we have a lot of break-ins.
And in Studio City, there's a lot of
Hell,
break-ins?
That's what. When I asked the cop, I was like, "Why is this?" And he was like, "You know, criminals from other parts come to the good neighborhoods because they don't want to rob people in the hood. They don't have anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's nothing to rob."
Right.
So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
But all right. So what's your take on this? Okay, as a gun owner and someone who believes in the Second Amendment, we're in this like
We don't need automatic
we're in this
weapons.
environment, right?
We don't need automatic
Yeah, and I
You don't
agree.
think we need automatic weapons?
For what?
Because I was talking about those are weapons of mass destruction.
People who they're weapons of mass destruction. We don't need them. In California, you have to have a gun that fires 1 round per second. So there's no automatic weapons in California. Period. You can build one, yes. Like in California, you can order. In California, you can order all the parts to make a gun legally without ever registering it. Like I can order everything: the bump stock, the magazine, the muzzle. I can
also
order.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. You can make an automatic weapon.
You can build your
Yeah,
automatic weapon
yeah,
here.
Yeah.
But you could do that
you
anywhere.
You can't go buy it. You know, you can't just go like to Turner's and buy an automatic weapon, but you can build it.
That's just a loophole.
But you can buy it out of state and bring it in.
You can
a
order
loophole.
it, and they'll ship it to your house here in California.
So it's illegal to
Loophole in the
possess
law.
it though. In
Yeah,
in
if
the
you get caught
statements.
with it, then you got some shit that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, the average police officer is not gonna be able. If I show a police officer a rifle, they're probably not gonna be able to recognize that it's automatic because it looks like a semi-automatic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Until you shoot it, they're gonna take. I'm gonna be like, man, I got a permit for this.
Well, do you think a semi-automatic is a little excessive as well?
No, not at all.
So what is the technical difference between an automatic and a semi-automatic?
Automatic, you hold a trigger and it just it keeps shooting until it runs out.
Mm-hmm.
Semi-automatic, you have to keep squeezing the trigger. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one round, pow, pow, pow. Whereas automatic is like, brrr,
Yeah.
so it's like
spitting
it's like
bullets.
100 rounds a minute.
Right. I was wondering about the number of
120.
bullets.
Weapon of
It's
mass
something crazy.
destruction.
So-
There's no people. You know, I've ran into people like, well, if they disarm us, then the government. It's like, come on, man. You can defend. I could defend my house. I could defend my house with probably 5 guys with automatic weapons just as well as if I had an automatic against them. I mean, I could defend my house with a semi-automatic just as well with an automatic.
But also, you're not gonna be able once the
Depends
helicopter's
who's coming at you.
Once the helicopter's out, the government's
How many
got you.
people-
You're not gonna
Yeah.
fight the government on your own. Like these
Well,
people
they
think
feel
that
like
they can, but
yeah.
the government has fucking drones. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna.
I mean,
beat
I think
that.
it's like another level of paranoia and
Yeah.
just, you know,
Doomsday
mental illness
purpose.
where you
But
feel
yeah,
like you need that.
There's no reason for automatic weapons.
Yeah.
Well, wait till the
I hunt-
apocalypse.
I hunt and everything.
All right. That is David Lucas's take. There is no need for automatic weapons.
No.
We got it.
But y'all ain't ready to hear the rest of his Kanye truth until he makes it. So follow David Lucas.
At David Lucas.
Get him
funny.
these followers so that we can finally hear the truth.
Yo, follow David Lucas on everything. His Instagram is popping. Hilarious videos, hilarious
Where
comments.
do you want to give us your Insta info and?
Oh yeah, IG
socials?
at David Lucas Funny. I don't really mess with Twitter, but I think it's either Funny David Lucas or David Lucas Funny, and then on Facebook, that's one of those. And on Facebook, just type in David Lucas, and on YouTube, type in David Lucas.
Dope.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Squad.
Is there anything coming up that you're excited about?
Yeah, on August 28th, I got my first televised comedy set on Revolt.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, you
Yes.
shot
Shut
a
up.
Revolt special?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Congrats.
Dope.
So that's August 28th. I think that's a Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that. So that's gonna be on, you guys.
And then what's going on with the, what is it, the Triple XL?
Triple XL tour should start next year in like February.
Who's
Okay.
gonna be on it?
Like me, Teddy Ray, and this guy named Cisco Durant, who opens up for Carlos Mencia.
Oh, okay.
Really
Where-
funny dudes.
Which cities, regions are you guys gonna hit up?
Well,
Just so we
right
can look
now
out.
right now I believe the guy who's putting the tour together is booking in DC first. We did a local date here, and we had to turn 200 people away, so it did very
Hell yeah.
well. Yeah.
All right, cool. Everyone check out David Lucas.
Mhm.
We're Facial Recognition Comedy.
There it
Let's
is.
just wrap up.
Yeah.
FacialRecognitionComedy.com, at Facial Recognition Comedy on Instagram and Facebook, Facial Rec on Twitter, and we have a bunch of dates coming up, stand-up
Facial rec
dates.
comedy, right?
Facial Rec Comedy. Did I drop the comedy?
Yeah.
We all dropped the comedy. And
I gotta come to one of y'all shows.
yeah,
Come
it's
out.
this
Fun.
Sunday.
Yeah.
So not tomorrow, but when does this come out? Yeah, it's this
Yeah.
Sunday. So we have a show
The
coming up
11th.
this Sunday, August
Karen Dill
11th.
gonna be there.
Who?
Karen Dill.
Kieran's not, but Ayana
Kieran,
is.
excuse me.
No, I'm just playing.
Ayana's
She did
on
our
our
New
New
York
York
show,
shows. You
yeah.
should come out.
Nah, she engaged.
Oh,
She was-
congratulations.
She was single at the show. You should have been there. If you were at the show, she might not be engaged.
to Ayana Dookie, one of the
Karen,
facial
Karen was like one of my
regulars.
first crushes when I moved to LA.
Really?
When I found out she graduated from Harvard, I was like, oh my god.
Mm.
I'm like a hood nerd, you know what I'm saying? That's
Well,
Yeah.
we'll let Karen know.
I think she knows.
She probably knows.
She should know.
We'll let Ayana know too.
They could be your
Nah,
two
fuck.
wives.
I'm gonna text her. I'm like, Ayana,
Yeah,
how
you're
many?
Muslim, right?
Ayana, how well do you get along with Kieran?
Hey, ask her how much her dude make. Let's see. Let's big bang.
He's actually a
cop.
police officer.
Oh, he don't make no money. I'm winning.
He got that pension though. He
Oh,
got
New
that
York.
pension,
He a cop
that
in New
health
York.
Hey,
insurance.
I own 4 houses, baby. What's up?
Damn, David Lucas.
Well, I mean,
That's so
I
funny. You have
inherited
4
them.
houses
Oh, okay.
and 2 wives, so you could spread them between the
Well,
4 houses.
they're rental properties,
Mm.
but I inherited them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got
Cool.
some stand-up dates coming up. August 11th, this Sunday. You should come through.
West Side Comedy Theater in
Side,
Santa
9
Monica.
p.m.
August 11th.
Yeah.
I will be there.
Awesome.
And then we're going to be in New York also, New York Comedy Club. What do you remember the date?
August 30th,
New York Comedy Club.
11:30 p.m.
Gramercy location.
Y'all should be able to book a date at the Broadway Comedy Club.
Yeah, I don't love I mean, no, I don't want to say that. No, just
We love
never mind.
everybody.
Yeah, we
We
love
love
everybody.
We've had a
everybody.
good relationship
We
with
love
New York
everybody.
Comedy
Yeah,
Club.
you know what? I love New York Comedy Club.
Broadway Comedy Club
We're
far
happy
as
there.
fuck too.
It is
Yeah.
far. It's in Midtown. It's harder to get
They
to.
gave me a weekend. I
on
was
the
like, man,
weekend.
what the? They gave me a weekend. I was like, so I was like, they must be giving anybody. Not necessarily say you anybody, but I'm just saying.
No,
it's
you're a
not hard.
monster. Of course you get weekends
Yeah.
in New York.
You're worthy.
If you need an opener,
I
since
got
you know
some.
I'm one of the funniest people.
I actually want to start
Yeah.
doing comedy where I have a group of people on stage with me, like finishing my punchlines.
That'd be fun.
Us two, Jessica, Michelle, and you.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm gonna see you Sunday,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, come through. That'll be fun.
cause you know you racially ambiguous, so I gotta check you out.
Oh, that's the way you go for. If we didn't already know from Ayana and Kira.
No, we figured that out. We figured it out.
Somehow.
Yuri, is your mom
Ethnic
Indian?
ambiguous.
Do we know?
Her
No,
mom's
alright.
Native American.
She's Native American.
Yeah, Native
Okay.
American and black,
Oh wow.
And then your dad is Hispanic?
and Cuban. Yeah.
Cuban.
All right.
And my grandmama's half white. My mother's one.
Healthy gene pool.
I talk
Yeah.
about
Nice
that
little
on
mix.
stage on my grandma
He's
being
just
white.
down with the brown.
So Paul's
all
got
over.
shit to do, so we should wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
we should
Alright.
go.
Where can we
Alright.
find you guys? All of us. We know where facial rec stuff is. I'm Fizadasani on all this stuff. FIZAA DOSANI 1Z2As.
Paula Viganalin, PALLAVIGUNALAN. That's my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook, my website.
And this is Zara. I'm really Zara on all the social medias. Zara is spelled ZAHRA. Thanks.
You.
David, you want to leave us with something?
Any wise words?
A wise man once told me, "You will always lose money chasing a woman, but you'll never lose a woman chasing money."
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
I think I said that right.
Go chase some money.